Okay, today we are going to have a short discussion on time banking.
Mhm.
I'm not too sure how we can proceed with time banking, but I guess that there are members who are interested in time banking and think that it should be we should try to pursue it, whether it be done on a large scale or on a small scale. Okay, to start with, maybe I'd like to ask first. June, how much do you know about time banking?
I don't know what is time banking. I'm curious.
Right. Frida, how much do you know about time banking?
I'm here to find out. Thank you.
Okay. Sherry, how much do you know about time banking?
You're muted. You're muted. Unmute yourself.
Oh, I see. I see that I also don't know much about time banking. That's why I'm here to find out more from you all. What is time banking?
Okay. Maybe what I will do is I will ask
Hang on. I got a call coming in.
a short idea as to what time banking is all about.
I think I'm the only one who knows a little about time banking, which I think we had very much earlier in the month, that means last month or so, end of the month. We had discussed a little about that, but most of the members, I won't say most, it's half. They are interested, but at the same time, these people who are interested actually belongs to the group that intend to age in JB. And we had a very long discussion about this issue. What is time banking? Okay, time banking is such a, I mean, in the West, like Switzerland and some other places, they will use time. That means you are a volunteer. You are a volunteer. You volunteer your services to to some clients. The clients are actually immobile. It can be they are bedridden or they can be mobile, but at the same time they just need a companion to take them out, either for a meal or for a walk or even to a clinic or to it's like more or less you accompany them, but you're not going to do a lot of work for them though. You take about maybe 2 to 3 hours. You can even cook them a meal as well. Like for example, say I go for cataract and I need someone to buy some food for me. So this is the time, I can, this is time. That means a young person, a young volunteer will help and buy the food for me. So that time is being recorded to say that, he has spent so much time with me, So it's put into the bank. They call it into the bank. So in future, if this young person, say in 10 years time, 20 years time, the person is much older. And at that time when, she needs help in the sense have fallen down, and she needs help, she can tap into this bank, this time bank, to get back the time to help her to do the work that she has done in the past. Or she can even ask, as long as she can take back the time, in other words, it's like deposit, she can withdraw the time and then do something for her. That another person, it can be any person, usually more the fitter one will do it. It doesn't really involve money. That is in the West, especially in Switzerland. It seems that now, from what I gather now, is Taiwan and Japan are really doing it too, and they do not, the same thing, they do not involve money. Okay, this sort of thing, like in our group, they mentioned that you got to go in a large scale. I don't know whether our silver hair can sort of do it among ourselves. No, if we can, then we can really discuss more deep into it, no? But then, as we have discussed much earlier, I mean, it involves a bit of money where Singaporeans are concerned because we are more materialistic, and then we don't really need that kind of I won't say that we don't need the service. We do need the service, as time goes on, it's not about getting a maid. No, I can tell you nowadays very difficult to get a maid. No, because of the COVID. I mean, the lockdown and all that is very, very difficult to get a maid in. So these people will come, these volunteers will come in handy to help the so-called immobile people, or homebound or housebound. You don't expect your children to help you to do all the things though, because they will be very busy with their families, with their work, especially with work, So these people will come in very, very handy. So we're going to discuss more. So I can share lah. I mean, that's that much I know of lah.
Anybody got any comments about what Kat Soon has described as time banking?
So from what I understand is that it doesn't involve money, but it's actually we are rendering our services to people. Then in future, when we need this sort of help, we can tap on this time bank.
Deposit the deposit.
Yeah, actually we are depositing when we help somebody, right? Depositing the time there in our time bank. So like the services you say about bringing somebody to for checkup and all this, or
Yeah.
cooking for somebody. Oh, okay. That means it's more for elderly folks.
Not necessary, as long as the client is willing to have your service, then you render your service lah. It can be anybody, even the small child, needs someone to bring the child to childcare or to some music lessons or some kind of lessons. Parents cannot bring, so the parents, nowadays the parents can afford, right? So they pay you the time. No, this is not paying time. I forgot. There's no payment in Singapore. I mean, not in Singapore, in overseas. But Singapore, you need that kind of money. I mean,
You mean money? I thought it's like we give our
It's-
time, then in future,
yeah.
they will also render services to you because you already, right? Something like
Not
that means
necessary
not
for
money.
that. Yeah, not. It can be anybody, that means not necessary. Say I have get the service from someone, not necessary that I will give it the time back to that particular person. I can give my time to another person, as long as another person need my
We are
help.
not the same person. It's in this case, it's like a pool lah. Then you know what? It's a pool.
Yeah.
The thing is that if let's say like children you get somebody to help you to bring a child to daycare center or whatever, then you have to trust that person. So I mean some services is that need trust, then can be done, right? Hi.
Okay, maybe let's just ask another person for opinion. Frida, you got any opinion on the services of time bank?
I think for us, we have this classmate of 50 years old chat group. It's reciprocal, but according to what Catherine said, it looks like there is an administrator that collected or admin the record. But for us, it's reciprocal. So when you say this thing, it's not reciprocal. So I think someone will be administrating it, correct, Kat?
Yes, I would think so, yes. Because that one we are talking is about the concept from Switzerland, see. So I don't know how we're going to implement this this over here, this concept over here in Singapore. But we are discussing it. I thought it's a very good concept. That's all I thought.
It is, because yesterday I was helping out. The domestic helper that look after aged people is horrible. You can see how they are attending to them. So if you have this service, it's good, because in Perth they are paid, I think it's 55 Australian dollars per hour.
Oh, so expensive.
Yeah, there's a lot. Singapore $20 I know Singapore is $20. I asked because the last time I wanted the service myself. That means I have intention of going for cataract surgery and I need someone to buy food for me or buy grocery for me. So, or to even do a bit of light cooking. Then they say, I asked, I cannot remember my AIC, they gave me a contact to contact them. And I did, it's $20 per hour.
I don't know in Singapore how it works, but I know in Perth, because of the distance, in Singapore, we have a lot of food court, we're so nearby to each other. So it's not difficult, but in Perth it's different. In Perth, because it's far away. So as long as you can drive, you are fit, it's about $55, $60 per hour. So I'm not sure if in Singapore it can work because, you know, now you have Sheng Siong right below your flat. And then you have Sengkang Hospital near to Sengkang Estate. So I don't know. I have not heard of this $20 per hour.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
Yeah, maybe June.
Okay.
Do we need to,
Sherry,
if
do
let's
you have
say,
a view on
no,
this,
if money
Sherry?
is involved, then I find that you have to register right in the ROC if let's say money is involved. It's not a kind of non-profit organization, right?
No, it's not. If you do, you
Yeah.
want to do it privately. Sorry if I may say. If you do, you want to do it privately so that you know the person. It's like matching them well. So it's more of a successful than unsuccessful match. I mean, to me, if I think it will work, it have to work this way because trust is important.
Mm.
Yeah.
I share my piece. Thank you.
Okay, Sherry, would you like to share your idea on time banking?
Sherry, you're muted.
She's muted.
Muted. Unmute.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
My sharing is that I don't think it can work unless you can find people who are willing to volunteer to take care of you. And that doesn't mean that when your time comes and then you are sick and you cannot, you need people to help you, doesn't mean that you can find people who can volunteer to help you also. So my suggestion is that it will be better if, let's say, a group of us can stay together in the same place and then we help take care of each other. This is my opinion. I don't know about others. Like, for example, the other time I watched a video about this aging in JB. Someone suggested that living together in the same condominium, I think that is a good idea. Living together in the same blocks and then maybe 2 person to a room, and then you can take care of each other. And cooking and all this, maybe somebody can cook and then, can help to cook and then help to other people can help each other on cooking, on other things like going shopping and all these things can help each other. This is my opinion. So I don't know about your
Actually, we already have it in Singapore, but it's not a condo. It's studio apartment.
It can be any place, but I think living together would be a good idea.
Yeah, it's a community living for elderly.
Yeah. Anywhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
So where I live here, Pasir Ris, we have this studio apartments. It's about one room. It's a one room, just one bedroom.
Yeah.
Okay, and one is bigger, the other one is smaller. It's about less than 100,000 that time, but now I think it should be about, for the small one it's about 85,000. Then the bigger one is I think 100,000. They live together now already since 2016. 2014. Yeah, that means now for 6 years they have been living together. So I'm just a I'm a volunteer there. Actually, I joined that place because it's under the Methodist Welfare Services. So my friends, they are volunteers, and then I just joined to befriend the people there and talk with them because they are elderly folks. And then also from there we also games to play with them. All this is to kind of liven up their life because mostly those staying there, their children only come like probably once a month to come and visit them. So weekdays only weekends they come to visit them. So that's how we have this. And then like let's say there's this lady, her husband got to go for operation, stay in hospital, and then she herself can't walk. Then we have to go. Then we have to help her to buy food like this.
Okay,
So
Boss Arjun,
so it's kind. Sorry.
can you tell us what do you know about time banking
And
Okay, I think your time equates to what you give in and also what you receive, right? Firstly, you'll be involved in different type of sort of job like probably how you equate. If let's say you put in time like for doing a tougher job, and then next time when you yourself don't receive back the same type of care, so the equation is not so fixed, is it? So how would you like render this type of rotation in a way, you know? So it's like initially you give, right? So in time of needs you will receive help. So this is time what do you call that, banking or whatever. Okay, so it can work if you put in a record each time how many hours or how many years, you know. So it will be like a long time, long life thing, you see. So probably if people monitor, and then you will have the rotation. If not, it will break somewhere. So whatever you put in, you might not receive at the end. That is my sharing. So there will be a breaking time also.
Okay, maybe let's move on to another person. Daisy Tan, can you let us know what you understand by time banking?
Just in what is time banking for the elderly? Okay. In instances of example, my mom, she's actually staying alone on herself, and recently because of dementia, doctor says that she's rather that we be around because we're concerns of because her health is also not so good now. And recently she fell at my house, we're going to the toilet. Apparently nothing happened. Previously I've been actually using caregiver services through Homage, and it's about $20 an hour, just to be accompanying her, 4 hours, maybe 5 hours kind of service. Yeah. But this is when I'm not working. When I'm working, period. Yeah. So it's alternatively, it will be by having a maid, full time. But maid with an elderly is not a very conducive thing. Yeah. So time banking now, I really have. To me, I see that if there's a need, then it's essential, then it's good. But those who stays in this, as I say, the studio apartment, if there's organizations that actually organize activities and even look into the elderly welfare, will be also another option. Yeah. Okay, that's it.
Junpei, can you tell us what you understand by time banking?
To my view, can you hear me? Because I'm using a Bluetooth now. Can you hear me?
A bit muffled.
Very
A bit muffled. Can you hear well?
not clear.
Not clear. Okay, you let the
Echo.
person. Oh, is it? Okay, let another person talk to assist to my.
Right. Agnes, can you tell us what you understand by time banking?
Actually, I don't understand. I don't really, because I just came in only. I don't really, sorry. For me, maybe it's like how you spend your time for your old age. Is that right? How you spend your time in the future?
Oh no, it's something like paying forward, but then not the same person to pay for. It's something like that, paying forward your time. You understand what is paying
my
forward, right?
time, I mean, like time for charity or what? Huh? Sorry?
Time that you help somebody, and then in future when you need help, somebody else will help you when you join this time banking thing. Yeah.
Okay, for me, because when I'm helping people, I don't think of people helping me back in future, or hope that people take care of me. You know what I mean? For me,
because
you never.
I know what you mean, because the elderly one, they cannot help you back.
Yeah.
You will be the younger one who are able-bodied. Then
Yeah,
they can help you.
I know. I mean, like, okay, I know your meaning. Your meaning is that now I help people. Am I hoping that in the future people will help me? Is that what you mean?
Using the
not
time.
the same people will help you lah.
No, I know
not the same people. Not maybe mean yeah.
Yeah, I know that's not same people. You know, I mean, like, because when I'm help people, I don't go with the idea that, oh, I help you, I help now, people will help me in future. You know, you just help because you want to help. You know, your desire to help. Yeah, I mean, supposing, like, of course, everybody, like myself, of course, everybody, I will hope that in the future I will have problem, I can take care of myself, people will take care of me also lah, but not to do it in the hope that people will do it for me in future, take care of me.
No, the concept is time deposit. That means your time that you serve, your service is already deposited in a bank.
Okay.
So when you need it, when the time comes you need it, you can from your bank, the time that you have deposited in. That means the time you render your service, then in the past.
But so are we asking, is there an establishment that count all our time with helping? You know what I'm saying? Is there an establishment?
No, this one is done it's already now currently is done in Switzerland, in Japan.
Yeah.
They are doing it. I don't know about Korea, but some places are already doing it.
Okay, Singapore don't have at the moment.
Frida mentioned that one more of money involved. So it's slightly different again. So I don't know how we're going to tweak it into our Singapore context. So that's why we are talking about it, is it?
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for your explanation.
Yeah, if money is involved, then we cannot call it time banking anymore.
You still can. You still can.
Still can call it time banking. But I just went into YouTube, UK, all these places, Europe, they are having this time banking already, and it's just services. It's just time, they never talk about money involved. Yeah. Then in Australia, they don't put Australia as one of the countries, because Australia, they pay for the services, right?
Yeah.
From what I see, that time banking is like that. That means that I pay forward my time instead of money,
Yeah.
It's your time when you put, and because life is so unpredictable. So now you are able-bodied, you are strong enough and healthy enough to help. In future, you may need help. So then when we come into this pooling system, we have others to help us. It's something like insurance actually, but insurance we put money, you see.
June message.
But this time banking is more.
June. May I contribute? In a way, your time versus the time in and time out, right? So on top of that,
Yes.
I should foresee there is things like money involved. You know why? In the process, we might need helpers or caregiver, to do some job that in that age group are unable to do. Some heavy work or some work that require a bit of labor. Let's say things like helping the elderly to get up and go onto the bed from the wheelchair or so forth. So we will foresee this sort of thing in the later stage in life, right? So you, the person giving the time person is not so strong, okay, to help the other one. Even though you are signing in for time, giving time, all right, not receiving yet, but you yourself is already like that age, so you are unable to have that strength, to hold even a skin and bone, somebody who is skin and bone, to the bed and up to the wheelchair as well. So in this process, you need a caregiver. So this is money involved every maybe weekly how much, hourly how much, or monthly how much, right? So there must be
that
a
one
pool.
is not time banking already.
Yeah, there must be a pool of money on top of time banking. Am I right?
I would think so.
That one is another type of services.
No. On top of it, together with it. So I'm saying that because you are giving your time, but you are not able to do the job that is required. So there must be money involved.
If you need a caregiver, it will be a regular caregiver already, because the caregiver will know your idiosyncrasies, all this. So you need
time
someone
banking thing
to
will
be
go
regularly
throughout,
with you.
so you don't stop in the process, right? So when you give until you receive is the end of your own day, right? So
Hello.
When you are not able to do it, so everybody there must be a pool of money to do the thing that needed to be done, right?
People like us who are able-bodied can get into an accident, and that time we need help really, huh? Because don't need until we kaput, right? Until we are sick. It's not only when we are sick that we need help, or when we are old. It's when we get a sudden like injury. Then that time we need help, right? But for me is that I have a lot of siblings, so I can just count on them. And then I also have so many others, because probably I helped those people before, then they will definitely render. I think it's like, how do I say like when next time I went for my operation, I have so many friends came to visit me. Why? Because when I was well that time, I used to visit them. So when I was not well, they all like, oh, June, what happened to you? They all one by one will come. So it's so I'm thinking is that for me, I don't no lack of friends. So maybe if, let's say for us, you're afraid that when you grow old and nobody come and help you this, actually is to make good friends, and then that kind of, so there's a kind of trust, right? That means this intentional relationship. Then after that, when you need help, they will come to you. I mean, maybe for our Singapore context is this way.
Okay, June, maybe I'd like to ask you, so do you know what is time banking?
Now that I've gone into the YouTube, I know what it is. It says that it's your services that you render to others. Then after that, you deposit that time already. In future, you can draw from that time that you have given to others. When you need help, you can draw on it. It's not the same person that will give the services. No, it is those people that are in the pool, in that banking system. That means those who signed up for it. Then it says that already 6 years already in Sweden, in Switzerland. Actually, now that you mention it, after going through there, yeah, my son actually went to Sweden and his wife, family, stayed there for 4 months. He did actually mention about this time banking thing. But because the people there only have one child, you know, and then their relatives are like in other countries. So that's why they need neighbors, they need friends to help them. Yeah. But maybe in Singapore, well, probably not now lah, because I mean, for those, our next generation, my children, my grandchildren, so few children at that time, and then not many relatives. Then they cannot tap on relatives' help.
Okay. I like to go around and just ask, because the first part of our session really is to understand what is time banking. So June, do you understand what is time banking?
This is the first time I've heard about time banking, but I consume from this phrase, time banking is like, instead of putting cash in the bank, you're actually putting times your service rendered into a so-called organization or something else. So I believe that whatever time you spend or how long you spend, you are accumulated. And of course, in my work, comes with an interest in it. I don't know how it actually works, but I think it is roughly this idea. So when you need, let's say bank, you need the money, you withdraw money, but for this time, you need that time, you just drop some of your time. But I don't know how the organization will work in terms of what you say this time. When you need someone that is more than service, that more needs money, then I really don't know how it works.
Okay, good. At least I think you have some understanding. I would like to ask Frida, do you understand what is time banking now, Frida?
Yes, I think this thing has been going around, and I don't know why nobody or no big organization or government take up. So maybe like what June Lee says, this generation has no such urgent need as yet. So I think it's some sort of a big organization structure that is something that equivalent to banking in your time and is secure. It's not something you can flip and flop. I mean, if I were to join and offer my time, I definitely want to go with an organization that is, reputable. Okay.
That sounds good. All right. What about you, Sherry? Do you understand what is time banking now?
Yeah, I a little bit. Yeah, I understand a little bit more. But then just now I was saying that for me, I don't think it works unless you have many volunteers in the pool. Because as I said earlier, then you might be able to find someone. You might not be able to find someone to take care of you when you are in need of the help. That's what I fear. That's what my thoughts are. So to me is staying together in the same block and taking care of each other is a better option when we grow old. Yeah.
That sounds very good. What about you, Daisy Tan?
No video.
No video. No. I think she's not there.
Sorry. Time banking. Offering your time, right? Put it in a bank. Okay, anyway, it's actually it's offering time, but is it the question is whether this time that you offer is there's a fee to it or is it free? That is a question, because as I mentioned, I'm using this homage services, so normally you'll give them some token, an hour is $20 in just to spend time with an elderly and then occupy her time. Otherwise, they're quite lonely alone, or do they need some like cooking or do some errands for them. So my time banking is just spending time with an elderly. All right.
All right, finally, Yes.
Sorry?
Do you understand what is time banking?
Oh yes, okay. I understand better now. But I still cannot visualize the concept. Maybe like you're saying that money is involved. I think maybe what is only admin fee, to run the whole operation. That's what I think. But because for me, okay, I understand the concept, but the thing is that is because if the people are supposed to take care of you in the time to come, they must be volunteer, you see. So there's no cash involvement with the volunteers, So I mean, like I know maybe some organization they really have people like there's RSVP, it's an organization for the retired. I've seen people taking the people from the homes to visit the hospitals. The homes when they have their residents going to hospital to see doctor, they got no one to bring them there. This volunteer will accompany these residents to go hospital, listen to the doctor, what is the instruction, and then send them back to the home and relay the message to the caretaker in the homes. Those are volunteer. I've seen this concept in the hospital myself. See. But I don't know about the time banking thing, how it will work, I do not know still. If fee is involved, I think we only pay admin fee to run the organization, to have your record, that you register yourself. You say, I've done my volunteer work of so much hours. When the time comes, maybe 10 years time, the time comes, I'm going to tell myself, I've got a record here, I've done so much work and I need help, something. So the administrator will just, okay, you got this time, I can give you, I get someone to go and help you. That's what I'm thinking now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're buttering your time. It's a butter trick of your time. Yeah, you get the idea already. Agnes, it's something like, you know what I mean, right? You get the idea. It means that we're like volunteers, but in future, when we need help, other people will come and help us.
5 minutes done.
Parents?
Percentage in your mind. What percent? Yes. Okay, Catherine, in your mind, what percentage of seniors over 45 would require time banking in Singapore? In your mind?
Zero. I won't say that I have volunteered my service, but in my church, we have a lot of seniors, and all these are well-heeled people. My church are all very rich people, I must say that. So they actually can afford a maid to help them. But at the same time, they are very lonely people. So our church volunteers actually bring them out. All these without money, it's really purely a voluntary service, So if you talk about the percentage, I think it's quite a fair bit though. From my church experience, and also St. Luke Elder Care, there are lots and lots of people. So if you ask me the percentage, depending on how you look at it, now every family only 2 children, 1 child or 2 children. So imagine the elderly people like us in a few years' time will be even more elderly, right? And that's the time we really need that kind of service. So I would say the percentage is maybe 50-50 or even more, because basing on what I know, there are lots and lots of elderly people really need care, So if you ask me to say percentage, very difficult for me to say, but I can say that in my church, I think the clients or the people are more than the volunteers. The volunteers are much lesser. So it's like maybe 60, 70 to 30. To volunteers. So in other words, I'm trying to say that there is a need for this kind of services, but our concern is whether it's workable whether it is workable even in SHC. Don't talk about any other organization, just SHC. Is it workable or not? Because I heard, I think Daisy, no, Sherry is not the only one who mentioned that. There are people who keep on mentioning that we got to go into a large organization. Why don't we start small, and then if we really cannot manage, then we pass it to the larger organization to manage lah. But meanwhile, can we start it and then we can say that, oh, we are having this kind of service. But I know that most of us are very materialistic lah, in one way or other. To them, time is money, even though I may be retired, I want to get something out of it, at least I have something. Because if I were to go, just say, not me lah, I mean other people say, oh, they want to go and volunteer, I have to take transport. So therefore I need that kind of a fee, to compensate for my time and my effort going to, and also the transport.
Yeah, I'm thinking of that. Our organization, I think a few hundred of us, right? So we will have different, we have people from north, south, east, west. So in order to save time, then what we can do is that we put those in the east one group and then west one group, so that when we help, we need to travel so much, right? And then for us, if let's say for us, 60 years old and above, we have our the concession card, the EasyLink card. The most is 92 cents only.
60, not 50.
Yeah, 60 and above.
Yeah.
60 and above. Yeah. Then it's only 92 cents. It's not so much as the payment, the fare, but the journey, you see. So it's good that we all put into different area.
No, this one is this one. I'm talking about even the client or whatever you call them, the client or whatever, they need to pay a certain amount of money for your services. I mean, although we talk about time banking, but then you still involve a bit of money. Otherwise, people will not come to do it. I can say as much as that.
Oh, I see.
No, there are people, very very passionate or very compassionate about helping others, but there are not everyone, okay? There are some only, some will not.
Okay. Oh, so you feel that still got to pay?
No, I'm just throwing out a statement, my own.
Yeah, your opinion. That's why you feel all that still got to pay for some services.
So let me ask you, June.
Yeah.
Percentage of years in Singapore would require time bank, as you see it?
Now only very few percentage, but in the percentage is very low now, because why? Because like our generation now, most of us got siblings, and then cousins, all this. But it's my son's generation, my children's generation, and my grandchildren's generation, because they have very few. Some even don't want to have children, so they will need people around them to help them with that time. So for me now is that maybe we can start the ball rolling, and then let the young. Then after that, the young people can see it will be good. If let's say they can also join in to do time banking, not just our age group.
I must disagree with you, Jun Lee, because maybe your family is a big family with a lot of siblings. In my own, my family are all over the world. They are not in Singapore.
Oh yeah. So for people like you, when not in Singapore, then you will need help. Yeah.
I only have one son. So, when the time, I really need people to help me, That's
sorry,
why
I have another Zoom. I go first, Okay, sorry, I got to leave now.
Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead, Catherine.
Yeah, as I say, Jun Lee is very fortunate that she has a large pool of siblings to help her, or even friends. In my case, I would think I don't have that kind of privilege. So I would need that kind of services in time to come. And I think it's very soon, not only in years to come, it's very soon. Because when I go for my cataract, I really need someone to come and look after me. Like I think Agnes had experienced that, but then she has her own sister and mother around to help, right? So it's not so bad, is it? So to me, I still think there is a need and there's a demand.
No, that adding to what June said just now, I mean, like, I mean, at the time, and now I can think, oh, I got friends, I can rely. But the time comes, you never know. You know what I mean? Because friendship and relatives and situation, we cannot gauge. No, oh, no, I got this, I got that, I can rely on that. But when the time comes, actually, when the time comes, you never know. No, you cannot predict the future. You see, yeah. So whatever, I feel that it's best to be like prepared. You know, prepared as if you're alone. Yeah, that's what I feel. Prepared when, like, as if you're alone, get ready for all these things and do not rely on others. You know, even like, you know, Catherine, like she said, now I got my sister. In future, if I go for the cataract operation, situation might change. I might have my sister might not able to make it or whatever, you know. So everybody, I feel that think of yourself as one person getting ready for all these type of things.
Yeah.
And yeah, just get ready, you know.
Because you really don't know, don't think that we are that young, you know. We are not, you know.
No.
Even
yeah, young person, sometimes you're like, can be sick, okay, you never know Suddenly collapse I
mean, I find that now that I have some problem with my leg, my left calf and all that, when I try to sit up from the bed, I couldn't, you know. So I'm not talking about paid what do you call it, helper or maid, no, because I don't want a maid because of privacy. I lose all my privacy. I rather have this caregiver, or you know, for time deposit, time bank. At least that few hours, good enough for me already. I'm independent enough, you know, do some work for me, and then that's all. Yeah. So there is a need and a demand.
Yes.
June, your comments. What do you think? What percentage of people in Singapore, seniors, will require time banking in Singapore?
I think for the seniors to start now, I presume that time banking, you should start as early as 40 plus or 50. It's just like when you're 40, 50, you're running service for 10 years. By the time you're 60, if you have a new blood keep on coming every year, and that new blood must be as young as 50. So the 50 can look after by the time you are already 60, 70. So for now, the percentage to start this one, I think is a bit difficult. You must get the young ones to come in to render the service first. Let's say 50 comes in, I ran it for 10 years. By the time I'm 60, another new batch 40 comes in, 50 comes in years. So this young one will look after this old one. You know, this is how the blood will keep on flowing. This is what I think. But right now, if you want to start this, the percentage I think is quite low. I think it's quite impossible unless you really start with some money first. Like for catering cases, you say you need someone, if you need some debt, you have to pay for a service. Like what Sally's do for her friend. She go there and cook for 2 weeks, stay with her until the night, then she goes back. That is a service.
Oh no, she was paid.
Yes, she was paid. Yes, that's a service. That means what you want is that service, but not a maid.
Not a maid.
That I think is more possible to work rather than the time banking now. Some people get part-time maid, part-time nurse also. If you got some illness, you need some part-time nurse as well. But if just need a companion or to cook for you, do some run errand for you, that would be something like a service. But I don't think time banking can start now and then straight away do it. I don't think so. If you're talking about 60 years old, how to get 60 years old to help a 60 years old is quite impossible.
No, there are people who are very fit. I mean, even in SHC, there are people who are fit. and healthy. Of course, there are people like me, but there are people
Yes,
who
SCC, yes, you say now. What happens if in another 10 years, if you know new blood coming in, who is going to help? No.
I think there are a lot of people coming in from the Facebook. And they are the younger groups. I can see that.
I don't know. I don't know how many, what's the percentage like. And if they comes in, they might not like this idea. Yeah. So we are talking about a very big organization to do this. Then you get more manpower. I don't know. This is my 2 cents lah.
No, I think it's a good ideas for discussion. Okay. What about you, Daisy? What do you think? Do you think Singaporeans require time banking?
Require is require. The thing is that will they do it or not? The people would, because volunteer work, it's not easy, I mean, like, it's really, sometimes it's like quite tiring emotionally also, you see. So certain people, they expect you, you like, okay, they say you take care of them, no, but they go over the top with you. Middle of the night, they call you and things like that also,
Yeah.
So some people like some are appreciative. Oh, they very pricey, but some take advantage. Oh, you volunteer, okay lah. Middle of the night they call you for this, they call you for that, and then how long can you sustain? After a while, certain people who have no willpower, they will just give up. It's not a long term thing, no.
No, that's where the logistic comes in. You have to jot down, what time and what time you spend with this person. You really have, again, we put on trust, how you're going to deposit this time to a logbook, something like that. Otherwise, you cannot. I know there are some people who are very demanding. They demand your time, your energy, or whatever. Can be odd hours one. No? That's how volunteers. I mean,
have to endure lah,
Yeah.
So I don't know whether
Daisy,
a person can really sustain this thing for a long term or not,
I think
Daisy, comment.
Yeah, she wants to share. Daisy, you're muted. Yeah.
I still feel that there should be a fee because voluntary is, people may volunteer, they might have the enthusiasm, but after a while it might just die down. And it also depends on the condition of the elderly, because most of them might have dementia, some of them might be wheelchair bound, some of them also, even in dementia cases, I see some can be quite kind of character where they shout and scream and accuse people, or some may be more toned down. So all kind of elderly characters we can see. So being a volunteer has to be trained also. Okay, they may have to be trained on certain situation and how to handle certain situation. And also insurance comes in, because if you mishandle a person, then what happens, it can be a legal issue also. So first aid training is important. Speaking for myself, actually I went through a caregiver training sometime months ago. So I did learn something about how to handle different people, different cases, and so I have quite a bit of idea. And so if you're using time bank itself, being a volunteer, I think it will not really work that possible unless it's an organization, charitable organization. They might still come in, and you still need a third party to help with, because they might have the expertise and the knowledge, and we have to learn from there. Then see where we can go from there.
Just to share, I've been a volunteer recently for 25 years in the church organization. But the thing is that every 2 years we change the people, we change our group, and we work in a group. I have a team of 5 members. and we take care of certain families, certain people, you see, and we discuss our problem with the families. Whenever there's a problem of the particular client, we open up into the whole our team members and say, this is what happened. Any idea? I think of this. They all have to feedback, all agree to the situation, and then we all can act on that. You see, so every 2 years we change the whole group of people, so we don't get the same person for many years. That's one way. That's why we're able to to carry on our work, that sort of thing, But I think like supposing like time bank thing, unless it's a full-time job, unless I'm a volunteer, I come to the company assign me to this particular client, and I have to take care of this client for long term. And then I think it's quite challenging sometimes, especially when you have to bring the person to the doctor, and then you have to understand the medical term, what the doctor explained to you. Can you grasp what the doctor said to you about this client, things like that, Unless it's a teamwork, that is okay, for the time bank volunteer.
I don't think the time bank works this way. That means I don't think they assign you to one particular client. It's I think it's a broad spectrum, a broad spectrum in the sense that different volunteers for different clients. Not necessarily must be the fixed one. Not necessarily. I think that way. I would think that way. Yeah. Back to Terence.
Give us your viewpoint also.
Well, it's good we reach this stage, but I think we have to. Okay, I don't want to say that it doesn't work in Singapore. I think it will work in Singapore. It's just it had to be organized somehow. Okay, but in Singapore, obviously, we pay for everything. I don't think we are used to everything that is free. And even if something is free,
lagging.
So, yeah, okay. Do you see a difference between time banking, which is you ask from an organization from backdated credits, or versus a maid, versus staying together, versus family help? I think importantly is how does this compare to having a maid in Singapore? Time banking versus having a full-time maid. Can we have a short discussion on this? Kat, what do you think?
The reason why I don't want to engage what do you call it, a helper or a maid, is because of my friend's experiences. My friend's friend, actually, she died. She has a temper. She's alone, and she was wheelchair bound, and then she got a maid, and this maid actually pushed her to the swimming pool, and she died. It was in the news.
Yeah, I saw. I remember.
That's the lady, very rich. That's why doesn't mean that you got all the money in the world you can behave that way, but that's how she behaved. And she got temper. I think that day she threw the cup and saucer at the maid, and the maid couldn't do it. I mean, couldn't take it, can't tolerate, and then really pushed her to the swimming pool, and then she died just like that. So what's the point? So, and that's not the end. And many other stories, like the maid will, just recent case, the maid will, if they quarrel you or they get angry with you, they put in the whatever, the monthly menses and the saliva, the urine and all that into your cup of Milo, coffee or whatever, or even your food. Okay, coming back about that, I have a maid. That's why I sacked the maid. When nobody around, she gave me overnight food, and she denied all the way, and I recognize the food, the chicken wings and all that was overnight, and she gave it to me, and she kept on denying it. So things like that happen. Hey, I'm fit, that time she did that to me. What more if I'm not fit? So up to today, I don't want to employ a maid. I rather have a part-time to come in and clean up, that's all. Come to cooking and all that, I am very, very particular because I'm so afraid. You can say I'm very paranoid that things like that will happen. And I've seen with my own eyes, they do it to other people as well. So I don't want. So that is my stand. And that's why I say I don't mind having from the time bank or whatever to come here and help me for that few hours. And it will be a different person every time I call in, so that I don't have anything to do with the same person again. That's the reason. Okay, I've said mine again. Yeah.
What about you, Agnes? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean like similarly because I'm a stay alone. The thing is that I don't want to say I depend on my family. You never know. I say I would rather get the service of the time banking. I mean that's why I hope they're able to help me because of my medical problem also So I see the need for that also. Yeah.
Okay, very good.
I mean like part-time maid, full-time maid also you never know if you get a good one, it's okay. You get one terrible one, really sucks your blood. Rather not have it. Then rely on like the time bank volunteer or help. Even have to pay also. You need to pay. You need to pay what I mean.
What about you, June? What do you think?
If I had a choice, I would want a full-time maid because time banking, the fellow is not with you 24 hours. And if you have anything happen, just happen. Yeah, the time bank service would have gone, went home, and then something happens to you. What happened? You still go back to the square one. If you get, there's a lot of bad maids, but there's also a lot of good maids. If you happen that this is a bad maid, you can on the spot ask the maid agent to send her back and replace with a new one. That is one way out, but I would think that in times that when you really need someone to be one, that means that is quite critical stage already. You got no choice. You got no choice but to get a person to stay day and night with you. This is what I think. This is what I think. Of course, we have encountered a lot of very bad maids. But you can don't alarm her. Call your agent. Tomorrow, I want to replace her with another one. They have to do it for you. They will deploy this maid out immediately. Yeah.
Not so easy, June. Not nowadays. Not so easy. We try. I tried. I know. Not easy.
No, we did it for one maid also. 24 hours we let go. We just ask her to pack her things and go without alarming her. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. But I don't think we want to do until this situation. But sometimes you got no choice because if you alarm her, then the disadvantages is on you, like what your friend say, your friend been pushed down to the pool, all this happens. But really no choice. What? If you really need someone to service you at that time, you really got no choice really.
Oh, that one died already, the lady died already.
Yeah, she also partly to be blamed. She's partly to be blamed.
She is.
If you are good to the maid will definitely good to you. I also believe that maid or everyone will steal. But it depends on how much the fella steal.
It's more than that, like the maid that I have always had maids. So only quite recently I stopped having it because of the incident. She threatened to jump down from my place here. I have to call the police in and all that. So then the police say, do you want to make into a case? They say, if you make into a case, then, she has to be, called to court and all that. So I was thinking, so poor thing, if I do that, she will lose her job and all. So in the end, I said,
no, you should have called the agent. You should have called the agent and say what must be done. Bring her back to the agent. Yeah.
In the end, I did. I brought her back to the agent. I didn't want her anymore because she threatened me. No, because we were, you know that I have a temper also. So we were having some argument, and then she threatened to jump down. So I said, I'm not going to have maid because knowing my own temper, better not. Every time the maid wants to jump down, then what I'm going to do?
I don't know, but I did experience one time I was quite sick, but you really want someone to be around. Yeah. That's my own experience lah. But of course, you happen once a while, then I don't need a maid. But when I say it's come to a very critical conditions, you got no choice. If your children cannot be with you and your friends cannot be with you, the only thing is to rely on maid really. Because no matter how, the maid will still have to save you when you are in urgency, a relapse or something.
I did think about it, like now we are talking about having maid versus, I did think about it, but I still think that I would not want to have a maid because of that incident.
Yes.
That me.
Because so I believe we haven't come to that a very, very serious situation that
have do you know that I sometimes faint at home? I have.
Yeah, you have, but you still don't realize how dangerous it is because if you many times you survive and get up. Yeah.
So
for me,
I mean,
twice.
all depends. All depends. It really depends, right?
Oh, no.
How frightened state? How is the percentage of frightening you are? If you're still not frightened, it's okay. You still can sustain your life alone.
June happened to me twice. I collapsed. I collapsed. Yeah, but a few minutes I got up. I went to the bed, rest. I called ambulance. Twice it happened to me. That's why my friend said, I thank God nothing serious happened to me. That's why I don't know that things.
Because when old age, when you faint, means you bye-bye. Sometimes it could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neighbors.
Even if you never been rescued in time, I wouldn't say straight away. So there's pros and cons, whether you get someone to be with you and not to be with you. Time bank can, but it's only the period of time, maybe 4 or 5 hours with you. After that, you are still alone.
Or maybe get a nurse.
Yeah, and nurse is not cheap, very expensive.
Yeah.
All right. I'd like to close this session. I will call this session 2, which means that there will be a session 3, which is next week. Today, our session focuses on what is time bank, what are the benefits of having time bank, and doing some comparison. Okay. Next week, I plan to have another session, which is what is it that is required to start time banking services. Okay. We'll throw this open to the club for discussion and talk about what is required to do time banking services. And then the next session will be on viability, financially and physically, how it is to be done. All right. And if we cannot do it ourselves, then what I think we'll do is we will harness the club to push through time banking. Right. Whether we push through government departments or we push through our MPs or what, if the club thinks that this is a good idea, we will push through.
Yeah, I am with you, Terence. If you push through with the government, I'm with you. I think only the government can do it.
You have not said anything, so you have not contributed anything.
No, but you want to say that do it now with SJC. Where are the pool of people?
No, you didn't hear what I said. I said today is session 2. The next session is we will talk about what is required to do time banking. What are the requirements? Let's not jump the gun. We do it step by step, all right, and listen to everybody. And what I hope to hear from Frida is, I hope to hear participation from Frida.
Okay, if you have few minutes, I may share.
Session already closed. We will continue next week. All right. Thank you very much, everybody.
Okay, bye. Thank you so much.